Travis, we got Mike, and we got Josh.
How's it going?
No AKAs.
Nope.
No KAs on this one. We should have asked. I should have asked before we started.
I mean, I can pull some up.
Do you have some?
I can pull some up.
So you write these down ahead of time?
Yes. Yeah. This is
so
all.
It's not all off the dome.
It comes to my head, and then I write it down.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Okay, let me do it again.
All right.
Travis, Mike, we got Josh.
AKA.
There it is.
The Krispy Kreme Dream. AKA. Pass the Salt. AKA. The Natural Hell Speak and Spell. AKA. Your favorite.
Your favorite. Okay. I'm happy that you still have them, honestly, because there's some space in between when we do an episode and you still got them locked and loaded, ready to go.
I mean, I'm always on the clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
AKA Mr. Always on the clock.
I was going to say AKA always on the clock, man.
Time in.
AKA no days off. This episode, I want to talk about Celtics. If you've watched our last episode, we were talking about the Bruins, the Boston Bruins. We're assuming, if you're listening or watching this, you are a Massachusetts, Boston type of fan of their teams, I guess. You know, Celtics, Bruins. We do some Red Sox videos, and I'm sure that one's coming soon, even though don't really want to talk about them, but we probably will. But today we're going to talk about the Celtics. They are tied in their series against the Milwaukee Bucks, 2-2. They just won. So Game 5, I got to look at when it's happening. I think it's happening Thursday.
Tomorrow.
So maybe we watch that together. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we're definitely going to watch regardless whether we're together or not. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about the series. I have some things I want to say, but I want to get you guys. I want to get your feel on how you think the series has gone. Josh, have you watched much of the NBA?
I haven't been closely watching
of the playoffs. No,
because I feel like I'm just too focused on the Bruins.
Okay, well, I mean that's fair though.
Yeah.
I mean it's a good problem when you have more than one team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Of your favorite teams, I mean. And this is like one of the best times in the year, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like every sport's pretty much happening except for football, but we just had the draft for the NFL, so that's still kind of in there.
Tell you what, Boston's kind of spoiled because, you know, you have like cities like Cleveland, which I guess post LeBron or whatever, when LeBron was still there. LeBron didn't even make playoffs this year.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of cool to have a city to be all sports teams to be at least playoff
competitive.
Contender.
Yeah, because if you think about it, honestly, and it's true, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. I mean, if you're a fan of the Celtics and Bruins, you're of course going to be okay with what we're about to say. But like, if you're not, then it is true. It's true regardless. I mean, like Boston has been called what, Title Town,
Title City
of Champions, or whatever, and it kind of sounds a little jerkish, but it's true though.
Yeah, because we are jerks.
I mean, look how many the Patriots were winning for like 20 years. So I mean, it's like, and the Red Sox have won multiple World Series in a short decade or whatever, and then you know Bruins are always in it. Boston Celtics are always in it. So it's
what was it? The Red Sox won 2004, 2007, 2013,
and 2018.
2018.
Yeah, and 2022.
And to think before 2004 we didn't win any. Yeah. All right. So let's get into Celtics talk.
Yeah, of course.
All right,
so, great miracle.
Yeah. Celtics tied 2-2, like I said. Just watched Game 4, a nail-biter for the most part until late, like kind of towards the end of the fourth period or whatever. Mm-hmm. How you watched the game? You watched the whole game?
I did.
Yeah. So what do you think about... Well, let me ask you this. Jayson Tatum, Game 3, 10 points. Jayson Tatum, Game 4, 30 points. Like, if we're going to... And when I say we, I'm talking Celtics. If we're going to do anything, right? If we're going to advance in the playoffs, if we're going to make it to the finals, can we get by with Tatum scoring 10 points one game and then 30 another game?
You can if Jaylen Brown picks up the slack. You know, at least the Celtics have the luxury in this series to have multiple players who can put out 20, 25, 30 points a game. As opposed to Milwaukee, losing Middleton was big.
That's huge, man.
Losing Middleton was big, and I love Holiday. I think he's a great player, but he is struggling. He's only hitting 26% of his field goals. So that means putting all the pressure on the freak, right? Because he's the one that creates all the plays. Losing Middleton is like the quarterback of the team. He dishes out the plays. He shoots the three-pointer. He creates a lot of havoc in the 18, 20 feet out. I think that's why the Celtics they have to win the series because of the fact that even if Jalen doesn't have a good game, we only had 18 points on Game 4,
which is not bad.
And
he was like 5 for 11. That's not bad.
Exactly. He's not having as many touches as your go-to guy, Tatum. So if Tatum, the problem with the Celtics in the few games that they lost is that Tatum consistently went to shoot and he was consistently missing, and then it's like one of these minutes I'm going to get hot again. But if you don't, then you're going to lose the game, and then that's when you start dishing out the pass to Jalen and see if he can get hot, right? And then, of course, Horford, that was just out of nowhere.
Speaking of Horford, if the Celtics do win this series, he's got to be the MVP. Not even because of Game 4. Just because all series long, Horford has been he's been the best Celtic. I'm not even going to lie. He's been the best player on the Celtics for consistent-wise. Like,
he has.
All 4 games so far. And last night he scored, which I thought was pretty shocking. He's played 132 playoff games in his career. And yesterday was his highest he's ever scored in a single playoff game with 30. Like, that's crazy. Horford's been around for a long time. He's been around for 15 years. This dude's 35 years old. And he's putting up 30 points when he's not even supposed to be, like, the centerpiece of that offense. It's insane to me.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Horford, I was just about to say that before you said something. Horford, especially when you're facing the Bucks, it's kind of hard to do in-paint work.
Yes.
Because you have Brook Lopez and Giannis.
Yeah. Correct.
But, like, for Horford, he's got a 3. But for Horford to post 30 points, and what was the last game he actually dunked on, not on, but like he dunked Giannis.
I'm going to count it as on.
Yeah, it was on him.
Yeah. But you know what's shocking to me is that that's not the first time Giannis got dunked on this series. Jayson Tatum did it, and it was a foul. So I'm not bashing Giannis. Giannis is having a freaking remarkable series as well. I remember in the first couple of games of this series, Giannis was getting the ball, and everyone was trying to just kind of blanket him. But Giannis was dishing the ball, and he was getting assists. And when all the Celtics started being aware of the other people scoring, Giannis opened himself up for more shots. Yeah. Middleton's gone. You said that, and that's big. But a guy is I feel like is kind of stepping in is Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis has been kind of killing the Celtics as well. So
yes, last game he wasn't really...
No, he played 15 minutes, and we question why, because...
Yeah, he should have played more.
He should have played more because he's a great interior defender, and then when you... And especially when the three-point shot was not happening for the Celtics in the first 3 quarters, you question yourself, why isn't Portis playing more?
Yeah.
So... To the other aspect, the Celtics have a bunch of three-point shooters on their team. You know, if it's Tatum one day, if it's Pritchard can shoot from 3. Grant Williams was fantastic from three-point shot. Can you say the same for Milwaukee? You take Middleton out of the equation, right? You don't have that many guys who can stick to 3.
Portis has got a 3.
I mean, Holiday can shoot, but he is struggling. So, I mean... hopefully this keeps up because all the games have been close.
Yeah.
None of the games, there's no blowouts in this series yet. I just think that Middleton is the key factor in this match in this series.
He might have been. You're right. I think hats off to Williams and Horford for the in-paint work. I'm going to say that.
Absolutely.
Going up and grabbing boards and contesting and guarding Giannis. That's another thing. Giannis, or Bucks in general, they've been kind of struggling with foul trouble early on in the game, which is kind of... Yeah. Do you think it may affect them and how they play later on because they don't want to get fouled out?
I think so, yeah.
Because, say, second period, you got 3 fouls. You're going to start playing a little bit more soft because you don't want to get contact or whatever.
In which Horford actually did that in the fourth quarter. He had 5, and he was still playing. Yeah. And it's like... And Giannis was just penetrating right through the paint.
Yeah.
And I don't want to touch him because, I'm out of the game. Because, let's face it, the other center that we had, Tyus.
Yeah, Daniel Tyus.
He's not having a good series at all.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and you don't have Robert Williams.
Yeah.
So now it's just me. So he played very intelligently.
Why wouldn't you, Why wouldn't you just switch defenders? But have Horford guard not Giannis to maybe avoid some foul
Who
trouble.
are you going to put on him then? I guess Tatum?
Well, say Ty's, he's maybe not offensively, but like I would just throw him in there for some defense.
I don't know.
But then you lose. You don't win the game without Horford's 30 points.
No, I'm not saying take Horford out. Like maybe have Horford in, at the 5 and then throw Ty's at the 4, but just switch.
I liked Horford on him because they had a nice little back and forth yesterday.
Yeah.
Or game 4, I should say, where Giannis dunked on Horford and then he just stared at him and he got a tech by the way, which I thought was pretty lame.
It was like after the play, he kind of did a little taunt, right?
He didn't even do anything though. Like technically.
I think
they gave him a tech for that, and I'm like, dude, come on, I mean, let him show off a little bit.
I think NBA is getting a little too.
They're soft, man.
It whistles every 10 seconds.
I can understand if the guy's like he dunks on somebody and then he like cusses at the guy he just dunked on and he's doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But if you just dunk on somebody and like you flex a little bit, don't tee him up for that. You know what I mean?
And I actually tweeted out too on the Wicked Bitter Twitter page. I said, because I was watching the game, I was like, just looking at Giannis, you're going to get a foul at this point. Because, I mean, this dude gets every... and Matt, people who watch and listen know who Matt is, one of our friends of the show. He said it's like he's got his own set of rules for Giannis. Right. I mean, it's like this dude, you can't even, like, look at him.
But you're going to be seeing that. You're going to be seeing that in a year or two with Tatum. Because Tatum is growing to a real superstar. I mean, he's growing.
So you're not one of those people who are calling for him to be traded?
Well...
Because I know everybody, a lot of fans have been.
Well,
and then when he has a good game, they're like, oh, yeah, he's awesome.
Well, here's the thing. And he still does it. I mean, regardless. He still does this once in a while. He still sometimes becomes very selfish with the ball, And then they had that little quarrel in the beginning of the season when Marcus Smart just went out and said, hey, these guys need to pass the ball more. And from, I don't know what time it was, I think it was January, first week of January, you can see the whole difference on the team. Tatum was not forcing shots as many times, although in the other game he was taking a lot of shots and missing a lot of shots, right? But and that changed the whole complexion of the team. Stopped playing more together, giving that extra pass, and that's how you bond. That's how you become a real good team when you know that you can depend on Grant Williams in the corner for a 3 or a Marcus Smart straight out, something like that. In the beginning, he was just going into the paint, forcing shots, missing shots, and it was an easy 2 on the other end. So
I still think I wanted the Celtics to trade Tatum for maybe like a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But like I still think that if you trade Tatum, I still think as Tatum as like you're not going to get a superstar or anything out of him. You're probably just going to get maybe some like 6-man. Like some not you're not going to get much from him. You'll probably get a lot of players, but not something that will like a guy who will.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're not going to get like an elite player.
Yeah,
Which I understand. I don't think when I was even okay with trading either Brown or Tatum. Like not both, but maybe one of them. And I was never expecting to get to pull like a like a LeBron or something. I thought we would get 2 or 3 very solid definitely difference maker type of players because you don't need a team full of superstars. How many times do you watch sports and they don't have they only have maybe one great player and everybody else are all knows their role and knows what they should do. You know what I mean? Basketball has morphed into that where there's super teams now,
right.
But there's so many teams, not even just in basketball. Look at the Washington Nationals in baseball a few years ago when they won in 2019 or something. They didn't have anybody. And nobody expected them from day one to win.
Come on, man. I don't know. It's Howie Kendrick with that oppo.
Yeah,
man.
That's what I'm saying. You get guys like that who are role players, guys who know they can make a difference. That's what I was thinking if we were going to trade Tatum or Brown.
Right now, the way Tatum has played, and even Brown, when they played the first series against Brooklyn, and now how they hung together, against the 2 very good teams, by the way. I mean, this is not, the lower end of the playoffs. This is 2 top-seeded teams, right?
Yeah.
And the way they've hung in there, and the resilience that they have to win Game 2 on the road, and to tie this thing, because they know they played a very crappy game in the first game. They know they have to win one in Milwaukee, regardless now, because they lost home court advantage, right? So I'm really growing to like Jayson Tatum. Brown sometimes is a little soft with the ball. He loses the ball off his legs a little bit, But if there was one guy to trade, it would be Brown instead of Tatum. I think Tatum is just a knockout shooter. I mean, he could be a real
He does force
player.
a lot, though, which I get aggravated
He
with.
does.
Because even in Game 4, he was forcing a couple. And I think T was either watching with me or she was like in the area so she can hear me. I was like talking out to the TV. I was like, why force that? Why shoot that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, some of it's just so questionable. Like, when he's on, he's like top notch. But when he's trying to get into his groove, sometimes when he's trying to get into his groove, he kind of throws off the rest of the team because he's forcing everything. And I understand you got to keep shooting to get it, but not sometimes it's in very particular moments where you shouldn't do it, is what I think. And then another thing, one more thing is Tice. Tice on Game 4, I don't know how many threes he attempted, like 2 or 3 or 4, but he missed all of them. I'm like, bro, this is not the time. Like, you got the whole team out there to score. If you're going to shoot a 3, give it to
somebody who can
Brown,
do it.
to Tatum, to Horford, to Smart. You have literally 4 other guys who can shoot a 3. Why is Tice taking the 3? And he can hit them, but don't do it in a close game. Like, do it like when,
in a game that really matters.
Exactly.
Too.
And like when the game started and like the Celtics got off to such a bad start in Game 4. And when I saw the Bucks were hitting like 3 after 3, I'm like, all right. I even said, Celtics are going to lose. This is not looking good. They were missing all of their shots. The Bucks were making everything. I think the Bucks were up like 10 or 12 points early, and I'm like, I can kind of see where this is going to go. Luckily, the Celtics came back and won. It was a good game. It was a good Game 4.
Yeah, one player that's really opened my eye a lot it's Grant Williams. He kind of reminds me a little of Barkley on this play, Charles Barkley, right? He's got that same kind of body, style. And the guy, when he broke into the Celtics, could not hit a 3 for nothing. Now he's almost dead on. I think he was their best three-point shooter for the year, right? Close to 40%, if not 40%. So, and he loves corner shots. He loves the corner shots, right? So, and not only that, the guy is so vocal. You can see this guy on the sidelines, really, really focusing and pumping the players up. Let's go get it. Let's stop this. Let's go do it. I'm really impressed with him, Grant Williams. The other day, I actually had a mic on him during the game, and this guy was nothing but positive.
Yeah. I don't know when this video is getting released. So, Game 5, I think, is Thursday. Pretty sure.
Game 5 is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Okay, so I don't know if this is coming out on Thursday or after Thursday. Regardless, since everybody who's listening and watching knows this is before the game, let's make a prediction for Game 5. Do we go with Bucks or do we go with Celtics? It's still in Milwaukee, is it?
No, it's in Boston.
It's in Boston, sorry.
Yep.
So it's in Boston. You got to say that because that obviously takes effect. I mean, I feel like home crowd obviously plays.
Yeah, the next 2 out of 3 will be in Boston.
Okay. Josh, do you want to go first? You want to?
So Game 5 in Boston.
Yeah.
I'll give it to the Celtics.
Yeah.
I'll say Celtics. Not by a lot. I'll probably give it 6 points.
Okay. Yeah. What do you got?
I say that crowd, the whole thing what they pulled out in Game 4 is just going to be tremendous. I think the Celtics win by 10.
Oof. See, I want to say the same. I want to be on board with you guys, and I know it's in Boston, but I think it's just been too inconsistent for Tatum. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. You don't know with Tatum. And is Horford going to put up another 30? And if he doesn't, is that going to be the game that Tatum puts up like 12 points? Yeah. Like, so I don't know. It's hard to judge. So to be different from you guys, I'll say the Bucks. But I'm sorry. I'll say don't leave. I'll say the Bucks by like I don't think it'll be that much either.
5.
Because it's been a close. There hasn't been a blowout. So I mean it'll be like between 3 to 6 points, something like that. I think So they got Celtics. I get the Bucks for Game 5, and then Game 6 would be in Milwaukee. Am I right? And then back to Boston.
The Celtics sense it. They feel it. It's coming. I think this is a year that they're going to be in the finals. I do believe this.
So let's look into the future a
I
little
was
bit.
actually just gonna say that the Bucks are gonna win this series.
I was thinking maybe the Bucks, even without Middleton, but I don't know, because Celtics, and I didn't know this because I don't follow like every single game of the season when the Celtics are on, but I did pick up and hear that they were like the number one defense in NBA, so that has to play into it too. And actually, last night or on Game 4, they actually had a lot of good defensive stands against the Bucks. So
for sure, the Celtics defense has been stepping up, like even with Brooklyn and Milwaukee.
Yep.
Although Milwaukee is getting like these 12-0 runs or something like that, but you got to have good defense in order to come back from that 12-0 run.
Yeah, they know when to stop them. Yeah.
So I feel like, and especially when you have Giannis, they had Brooklyn. You have like KD and
Kyrie and
I don't know if Kyrie played that much.
Yeah, he played every game, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
Played.
But anyway,
they shut him down.
My point is that like you're facing great offenses right now, and your Celtics defense is putting up a good fight against them for top-rated offenses.
Here's Game 4, for instance, right? Remember, about a month ago, I texted you and said the Celtics are going to win it because they were blowing everybody up by 20.
Yeah.
They were beating teams by 20, 25 points every night for like a long stretch, maybe a month and a half, right? That says this team it's got something.
It's different.
Right? It's different, so it's like this might be something happening here, and of course they were playing great defense because you don't win by 25 if one thing doesn't happen, which is defense, right? Because defense creates offense, right? And that's what they're doing here in the playoffs. They're the best defensive team, and it's showing. And they have, I think, a good cast. Tatum is your go-to, but Grant Williams can put 20 sometimes. Jaylen Brown can put 20, 25. Horford demonstrated that the other night when he put in 30. So you've got, and then Pritchard can stick to 3. So you've got some guys. I think everybody's is gelling together at the right time. I think they're going to do it.
You know what's weird is that like I don't get the feeling that the Celtics have a player that sticks out. I know we have Tatum and Brown, but it's like Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis. You know what I mean?
His name's always been up there.
Lakers, LeBron, Brooklyn, KD or Kyrie, whoever, take your pick. But like when I watch the Celtics, I'm like, any one of these guys,
I feel like they're just not established yet.
Well, don't forget, Bird wasn't Bird until he became Bird.
Even like when the Celtics, like back then, Pierce, and then eventually Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett.
Sure.
But it was always like Pierce was the guy who stood out the most.
Yep.
But there's not one guy in the. Maybe that's a good thing because they're all like playing hard and they're playing well.
Yep.
But there's not just like one guy that sticks out to me in the Celtics. But like they're doing so well though. So I mean,
this is the beginning. I think this is the beginning. Not like Tatum, for instance, got a long contract, and so is Jaylen. Right?
Yeah.
They both have a 5-year deal or something like that, right? So they're going to be together for a while until they want to decide to do something with Jaylen or Tatum, which I doubt it anyway. But this is the beginning of a long run, like Golden State went on, or even San Antonio, the Spurs. They went on. They got the same players at the same time. I believe that if they don't split those two guys up, you're going to see this for the next 3 out of 5 years. You're going to see maybe the Celtics make a run, a championship every other year, like the Giants did in baseball. And
you know what I have a good feeling of, though? I have a good feeling because the general manager of the Celtics, right? Stevens, is it? Mm-hmm. Stevens was the coach.
Yep.
And it's like when you were a coach, you know what you need. You know what you want on that court. He did coach Tatum, Brown, and all that.
He went out and got it.
So he's what do you got? He got Horford.
He got Horford back.
So he knows what that team needs. It may not happen this year, but eventually he's gonna feed these guys.
Yep.
He's going to build something off of it.
Horford is the MVP of the Celtics.
He is. Right now he is.
Because without if Stevens didn't go out and get Horford, the Celtics are not here.
No, because they don't have a big guy.
They're not.
They wouldn't have a big guy.
I mean, they have Tice, but he's not that type. He's not a Horford.
No,
you know what I mean?
For sure not.
And I think Tice is actually taller than Horford, isn't he? He's bigger than Horford, isn't he?
I think they're both around 6'11".
Okay.
6'10".
But either way, Horford has been such a... And to go what you were saying, you know what I think is going to change that about the whole... designated, when you hear one team, you think of one player. I feel like it's going to be not only what Mike said about them being together for a while, because Tatum is still new to the league. I know he's been playing for a few years, but you know what I mean. Like he's not he hasn't been here for that long. And what I think will change it is if Tatum wins something. Like if he wins I don't know how likely an MVP would be, but something like an MVP, definitely a championship, or he has like a huge playoff. You know what I mean? Like he's the reason why the Celtics win the playoffs. You know what I mean? One year.
Yeah.
I feel like if he has one of those moments, then people, when they start hearing Celtics, they're gonna be like, dude, Tatum. If they don't already.
But what I'm saying is that, like, all right, so with other teams, you're saying that Tatum's kind of recent. Another guy who's recent is Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
And you can already see Dallas, Luka. You know what I mean? You already see it.
Yeah, I guess
and
you're
also
right.
another guy.
But I mean, you got to think.
Another guy, Ja Morant, Memphis.
Yeah.
The guy's recent. Memphis, you see Ja. Like, the Celtics, I don't see Tatum, you know?
But you got to look at, too, like the Dallas, he's the guy. You know what I mean? They don't have, he's got pieces around him. But the Celtics have, everybody is almost the guy to some extent. You know what I mean? Like,
well, at this point, yeah.
Because that team, the Celtics team, are actually full of players that, like we were saying, Tatum had, well, not last game, but Horford can come out of nowhere and score 30 for you, and like somebody can pick up the slack when your star doesn't. Like, say Luka doesn't have a good game. Who else is going to pick up the slack on Dallas? You know what I mean?
I'm not really for sure what the roster is,
I'm
but
sure
I know
they
what
have,
you're saying.
I'm sure they have a decent team, but
Yeah.
it's like Giannis. If Giannis doesn't score or he has a bad time, who's going to pick it up for him?
Probably
with no Middleton,
yeah,
but with no
or-
Middleton.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why when people think of the Bucks, that is the face of the Bucks, Giannis. Without him, some of those guys, you don't know who they are, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's like without Luka, who are the Dallas Mavericks?
So what I'm saying is, all right, so you have Brown and Tatum. Say, this is an example. Say Celtics get Westbrook. Are they going to name that the big three? Or is it just going to be Westbrook and the Celtics?
It might be Westbrook and the Celtics.
That's what I'm saying.
Just because he's already established and he's been around for a while. You know what I mean? I think if Tatum gets like 5 years in and he's still with the Celtics and he's putting up good season after good season, good after good, he's got to be consistent, because there's a very good likelihood where Tatum doesn't live up to what people are expecting of him. You know what I mean? He's so inconsistent to be a star right now. I think he can be, and he will be, but like,
the thing with
can't be putting up 10.
The thing with him and Jaylen Brown is they came into the league so young. Well,
pretty much at the same time, too.
Yeah, at the same. Brown 1 year before Tatum, and so now it's like, if you don't never win a big one and you're considered an elite player like Tatum is an elite, I think is a one step ahead of Jaylen Brown. Then you've done nothing. Then you're not recognized. You're not recognized around the NBA.
But what about Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo,
he was considered an elite player, and he never won one.
well, the problem with Carmel and so is Dominique Wilkins. They're all about their own stats. They love, like Arwen for who is he playing? Philly right now.
Who?
Harden? Is that Harden?
James Harden.
Yeah.
Again, those are the type of players that they're great scorers and everything, but they love to pat their stats. But that's about it. They're very selfish players,
I'm not gonna lie, I get that a little bit from Tatum.
Tatum,
I get that a little bit.
but that's because he puts pressure on himself to score, because his team, believe it or not, is on his shoulders. Like Bird, his team was on his shoulders to feed McHale, to feed Robert Parrish, to score. I think Tatum is noticing that with the Celtics tradition. Okay, so who's next in line? Paul Pierce was the guy. So who's next in line? I am. So what do I got to do? I got to go and show that, okay, not only I can score, I can dish out a pass to make my team better, like LeBron does. A lot of great players do, right? I think Tatum is already being recognized. Don't forget, this dude already tied Larry Bird for most 50-point games in 4 years.
Mm-hmm. With the Celtics, though.
With the Celtics. And of course, Bird played 13 years because he had to quit. He had too many back injuries. But there was a different style of game back in the day. Bird was more of a passer, a more complete player. Tatum is more, okay, I got to shoot.
Offense first.
I got to shoot.
Yeah. That's why, I don't know, like you guys might not like me saying this, but, and I don't watch basketball, like, I'm not like a can't miss a game kind of guy. But to me, I don't think that Tatum is elite yet. I know you said he is.
He's getting there.
Yes, I think he can be, and I think he is on the way.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting him in the same class as some of the other guys. I just don't know. I gotta see
the finished product.
more consistency and more maturity because he makes a lot of stupid decisions.
And not only that, he complains at every attempt. He's always waving his arms up, saying, I should have been fouled. I should have been
That's
fouled.
another thing
God,
because when he
please let it go.
doesn't get the foul and he complains about it on the other
It's
end,
technicals.
the other team gets an open shot on the other end because he's too busy complaining.
Yeah,
and
that's
I actually
what-
heard the commentators like, no, stop complaining, get over to the other
Yeah.
side and play some defense.
all the
and he
time.
does it all the time.
He's always complaining on calls, non-calls. It's it's so unprofessional. You never seen that in the 80s and 90s. It's like everybody's
They all
complaining.
complain, yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
complaining now.
Yeah.
Tell you
It's
what,
bad.
we were talking about him, but I hate James Harden.
I don't really.
I absolutely hate him.
I don't like him either.
It's just
He's good, but I don't.
He's a selfish player. Kind of a selfish player.
little bit.
He can shoot.
a little bit selfish, but he's got like I feel like he's just got the same play style, and for some reason the refs just feed into it.
Yeah.
Guy just drives, does Euro steps, goes like this in the paint, contact, puts it up, foul, and then he gets free throws.
And that's one of the things I don't like about the NBA.
And then he also gets the step back threes.
Yeah,
But then if you see him, if you
you're
see him on defense, I mean, no. Even if you see him on offense, if he dishes the ball, that's it for him. Swear to God,
he doesn't move,
You
he doesn't
watch
do
a
anything
game.
else?
You watch a game with the James Harden. This guy will dish the ball and stand where he is. He won't move without the ball at all. If he has the ball, he's shooting or he's passing somebody. He's it. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate about him.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one though that have their own I guess their own rules. You know what I mean? Like some guys get away with traveling, and it's like LeBron will get away with traveling.
Yo,
Like,
John Morant, he's good.
Yeah.
But always gets away with carrying calls.
Yeah.
I saw a clip, and this guy dribbled once. He's holding the ball, 1, 2, and then drives. The refs just let it go. The guy's carrying like crazy.
Yeah, I think the rules they've gotten really soft in the NBA as far as like fouls and stuff, and like you said, the complaining all the time by all the players, and then like the refs, they get complained by the players, and then people on social media and people on like the news, like sportscasters and everything like that, and then the refs start changing their style. They start feeding into it, and then they start helping the guys out instead of calling it like right down the middle like they should. You know what I mean?
It's
that's
almost
what
like
annoys me about the NBA.
It's almost like the elite players are anticipating when they drive to the hoop. They're almost anticipating a foul.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, for sure they do.
It's like, wow, no whistle. What's
Yeah.
going on?
This is
here?
what I think that
That's like Grant Williams.
This is what I think what they do, and Celtics do this too.
Yeah.
But there's no pass. There's not a clear shot. So I'm gonna drive my body against this guy while driving, and then just randomly go, ugh, and then I want a foul, and then you're upset about not getting a foul.
Losing the ball out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, it's like defense on Game 4 with Grant. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he was following Giannis to the hoop. Grant had his hands up the whole time, like the whole
Yeah.
time, and they still called the foul. And then
Yeah.
the replay, the announcers were like, "I don't know about that one," but because it's Giannis, he's gonna get it.
He's
Even
gonna
though
get
it was
it.
like really good
Right.
defense and like there was nothing
Yeah.
messing it up. It was just
Refs just have that whistle in their mouth.
he's ready for
Superstar coming in. LeBron.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
As soon as he pulls up on the one foot, just
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
contact. You can't touch this man.
Let's wrap up. We got Mike and Josh saying Game 5 goes to
Celtics by
Celtics.
6.
Celtics
10.
by 10 by 6. I said Bucks, right? Didn't I say Bucks?
Yes, you
You
did.
said?
I said Bucks.
You sure did.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be that much.
Yo, I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm sorry to break that news to you. I didn't say that, but I'm not even a Celtics fan, and I'm disappointed you're rooting in the Bucks right now.
Well, because I'm not going to be. I like to think everything through. I don't want to just be like, oh, Celtics got it, whatever. Because it's like, yeah, they won
Yep.
Game 4 because Horford put up the
Yeah.
30, and you're not going to get 30 all the time.
I get what you're saying.
But I
There's
mean,
not that consistent score
I'd
who
say
you
Tatum
can depend
also
on.
Tatum also had 30, by the way. I
I'd
don't want
say
to
if
just ignore him.
Middleton, if Middleton was on the team, then I would have picked the Bucks
Yeah.
to repeat.
I probably would have too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Who would guard Middleton though? That's what I'm saying.
probably I'd put Smart on him.
Smart.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd
That's
put
what I was
Smart
saying. You put Smart on him.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's a smart move.
Smart move.
All right. So Game 5. I don't know when this video in podcast is coming out or whatever, but it will be either maybe on Thursday or the day after. I don't know yet. But yeah. So that's it for us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're on YouTube right now watching this video, we thank you. Subscribe, like, share it, all that cool stuff. Comment on it. We like to talk to you guys and share each other's opinions and all that kind of stuff, even if you don't agree with us. If you think I'm ridiculous and stupid for not thinking Tatum's an elite player yet, let me know. It's cool, man. We're all cool here.
He's getting there.
He's gonna get there. I don't think he's there yet, but I think he'll get there. But for Josh, for Mike, I'm Travis. This has been Wicked Bitter, and we appreciate you listening and watching, and we'll see you guys and talk to you guys on the next episode.